In November of 2015, Lethbridge Police Service started a project to introduce mobile technology to the frontline police officers. The goal was to free up time so that officers could spend a greater part of their shift engaging with citizens. The popular culture characterizes police work as mostly high-octane action and little to no paperwork. In truth, basic police functions like a paper notebook and paper statements and paper tickets have not changed for almost 100 years. Repetitive administration has ballooned, especially in the last 20 years, with the onset of great accountability and transparency. What if an app on a smartphone could change all that? And what would that look like?
I started in 1990, and everything was pen and paper. We had an RMS, but you had to go back to the office to use it.
Paperwork is really how information flows in the police service. So it was ink to paper.
Leave the police station, go out to deal with a complaint, and come back with notes and or written statements about the events that had taken place.
It was always a point of frustration to me that technology had progressed, but the police had not. And we were doing everything on paper, and it was slow and it was onerous.
Capturing all their data manually, having to stop them every 10, 15 seconds with a little hang on, I don't write as quick as you talk, and lots of stops and starts in that statement.
Keeping track of all your stacks and stacks of statements. Calls where you've got multiple witnesses that you're having to interview. You didn't look forward to doing those. As well as you're always thinking in the back of your head, there's got to be a better way to do this. There's got to be some way that we can save time and cut back on the amount of paperwork and time that we're spending on these calls.
Some years later, we've arrived in February of 2018. The project has evolved and grown to 60% of officers using this tool. How has this impacted our officers? Users of this program and the goal for the service is to have every officer using this technology by the end of the year. Overall response from our police officers has been positive, and it's actually making our officers better at not only with capturing and collecting information, but allowing them to be more detailed and to obtain greater amounts of information in the possible exchanges with the public.
Well, it's certainly, at first people are just curious. They want to see what it's about, maybe a little resistance to some of the changes. And very soon they realize what you can do, and you become a desired person at the call.
I have access to information where ordinarily I wouldn't have it. We're putting a better product together in a shorter amount of time, which is saving costs, saving my time, allowing me to respond to more calls in a day. It's just the efficiency.
When I've been on a call where took an audio statement from the victim, took some injury photos, and by the time the other officer got back to the station, everything was downloaded. I had a general report onto the file.
And then with membership input, we've kind of molded it to what our service wants it to be.
So it frees up a lot more time to go from one call to the next, to allow you to be more proactive instead of reactive on the street.
I like that it's efficient. It is timely. I like that I can access records out in the field.
We're able to be on the street more. We're able to do a lot of our file work and our like case management work right on our phones. And because of that, I'm allowed to be in my schools a lot more often.
Also with impaired investigation, it is cutting the time significantly for report writing, and also the time it takes me to initiate the impaired investigation to the time it takes me to get back to the police station.
I have the information accessible to me right there on my iPad, and I can get that information to them right now. It really makes our service look very progressive. Like I said, it keeps us on the professional standpoint, and we're rolling. These meetings are way more productive because a lot of people wait on police input prior to going forward, and I'm able to provide them that information right then and there.
As you're rolling up here, I think our extraction plan will be just to take them on the passenger side. That way we're not dealing with the post and snowbank. Stop right there. Kneel down. Hands behind your back.
Right now what you're under arrest for is possession of stolen property, because that's a stolen vehicle. You've got some warrants. There's also going to be some fresh charges because you're not supposed to be in a car without the registered owner present. Do you understand this caution?
So definitely in the hours time-wise for paperwork. You can, rather than taking a 10-page written statement, you can take a 5-minute audio statement. It's firsthand.
Base 4320. Base level 4320, we'll get you 750. Hey, how you doing? Good.
So Constable Kuzno, Lethbridge Police Service. It is February 12th, Monday at 21:10 hours. I'm here with Jim. Jim, why don't you just go ahead and let us know why you called police today?
I came home from work this evening and found somebody that broken in the back door of my house.
Rear door.
Able to capture images on scene. It makes it really very functional and very fast. Where traditionally we'd have to call in a different unit to come take photographs or the sergeant's phone and then transfer the files, where this is immediately downloaded.
13 and 41, we have our male victim at the door.
When someone gives you information, whether they're sober, intoxicated, whatever the situation might be, that information isn't always 100% accurate. So to have that piece of identification that you know is concise and accurate will allow you going forward to be confident in the information that you have is the correct information.
A part of this evolution is to educate citizens about police practice, and we're happy to say they're changing. If you see a police officer on a smartphone, you may assume that he or she is accessing social media or texting friends. In truth, these smartphones have become integral in enhancing investigations. It is our goal that through the use of technology, we can capture every detail of an investigation, reducing the time it takes to administer an investigation while connecting with citizens in fairness, friendship, and impartiality.
I would say the general consensus with the public that I deal with, sometimes if I'm sitting down with them for a lengthy investigation, I'll just make mention, I'm not on Facebook, I'm doing notes on my phone, or I'm searching databases or things to that effect. And the general consensus and comments that I get from people are, it's about time. It's about time you join the 21st century. Paperwork is arduous, archaic process that needs to go to the wayside as everything is progressing with the digital age, and that it's obviously evident to the public that it makes us more efficient.
So if a person struggles to write, or they're not comfortable writing, or they're not comfortable with their language skills, who cares? We're capturing their words on the device to have better quality statements so we can serve the victims better and catch all those raw emotions at the time that you really lose. And I don't care what anyone says, when you handwrite the statement, you always lose something. And so this would give us the ability to have better evidence.
Going through it with them and then hitting the stop record and saying, all right, thank you very much. And I love the reaction of them going, that's it? Yeah, that's it.
It allows the victim a much bigger voice. Prior to using Smart Squad, I would listen to a victim's story, I would paraphrase it, and then I would assist them in writing out their statement. In that quest for efficiency, a lot of times I would paraphrase out the emotion and I would paraphrase out the detail, just to try to become more efficient and expedite the entire process. That all gets captured, and we have that as the end product, which allows the courts and the Crown a lot greater in-depth insight into what actually happened there.
without Smart Squad would be infuriating. Smart Squad has really made it more efficient to do our work, get it done now and fast. That really, I think not only would I find it frustrating, but I think the stakeholders in my committees would also find it frustrating, because now we'd be going back to where, great, I can get you that information, however, you're gonna have to wait till I'm back at the station, you're gonna have to wait till our next meeting in 2 weeks, you're gonna have to wait. Whereas now it's like, boom, there's the information, we carry on, we make our plan on how to execute the next task.
Smart Squad is so much more seamless, and it's painful to go back to the written statements. I'm not saying that we don't ever do them and we won't ever do written statements and that kind of stuff, but I won't willingly switch what I have for what I used to have. Never in a million years.
Smart Squad's been so willing to work with us to give it a shot so we can explore these things. And if we open the door and go down and, hey, there's potential here, or else, you know what, maybe not now, that's great. But having that willingness to explore where it can go has been the exciting part. There's a public expectation on the police service to be responsible with the funds we're given as a police budget, and that we embrace technology and that we are innovative so that we're more effective and efficient on the street. And this, the Smart Squad technology is giving us a chance to embrace technology to show that we're being innovative, and the end result is we are being more effective and efficient, and which really shows that we take our duty to being fiscally responsible with that budget seriously. And in the end, we're giving a better product to the citizens.